Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurudeva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hari Om and good evening from Niagara Falls. Whenever kids put on performances related to spirituality, related to religion, our Balavihar students, then when roles are assigned, or there's an option for roles, to be Indra, a Devata, a small g god, or to be a bear in Lord Rama's bridge as an example, what is the most popular role? Rakshasas, isn't it? Everybody wants to be Ravana. Everybody wants to be Kumbhakarna. You get to have many heads and a big belly and all of these weapons. A Rakshasa is one who has, when we think of our theology, a Rakshasa, a demon, is one with a lot of concentration. They're engaged in austerity. They're engaged in discipline, focusing and not breathing and standing and all of that. But what a Rakshasa does not have is purity. They have concentration but not purity, and that's why the powers that they ask for, the powers that they develop, leads to their destruction and the people around them. Now bring this to your life. When we conserve a lot of energy, physical energy, mental energy, intellectual energy, if that energy is not channeled towards the higher, it naturally starts to flow towards the lower. You cannot just conserve energy, you also have to channel that energy. This is where disciplines like Ekadashi, Upavasa comes from. Ekadashi means 11. The 10 sense organs, 5 input, 5 output, and the boss of all of this is the mind. Upavas means they're to sit near Bhagwan, sit near an altar. Now if the body and the mind are sitting near an altar, but they're not focusing on that altar, it's a very boring experience. It's a very frustrating experience. When you see a puja happening or you see some chanting happening and you're not engaged, that's a boring, frustrating experience. This is the difference between suppression and sublimation. Suppression you conserve but you don't channel. Sublimation you conserve and channel. Remember those two words, suppression and sublimation. Putting this into a quote, into a rad, into poetry, simple living is only possible by high thinking. We always say simple living, high thinking. We put a comma there, but that comma should be changed to simple living by high thinking. If you're thinking high, if you're content, then living is simple. You become less needy, isn't it? This vision of high thinking then creates the lifestyle of the simple living. But what if you do it the opposite way? You force yourself to have simple living, but there's no high thinking that comes with it. You're forcing the lifestyle, but you don't have the vision. What happens? In self-development, it's called implosion. And when you implode, you start to explode too. We call it self-development, but there's no development. There's only boredom, frustration, vision. We've been studying that throughout our Moha Mudgara course, and specifically in Shloka 15 and 16, we saw someone who has no knowledge and they're trying to fulfill all their desires. And what actually happens? Boredom, frustration. Then in Shloka 16, you saw someone who's trying to deny all their desires, but again, without knowledge, without vision, the same thing happens. Boredom, frustration. This means we need knowledge on why we shouldn't live a life that's focused on desire. We need to have that high thinking to bring in that simple living. Vision changes every facet of every moment of our day and any time period that you take from there. The more pure we become in mind, the more natural everything that's being taught becomes. For someone who lacks purity in mind, all of this it's an idea, it's a hypothesis. But when someone becomes more pure in mind, then all of this becomes their experience. The people in the prior shlokas in 15 and 16, there was no purity. So there was no experience. They were forcing themselves, and force does not work when it comes to that which is precious, like self-development. Everyone's with me? Okay. We move on to Shloka 17. Shloka 17 is written by Subodha. Okay? Someone whose knowledge is not just objective, someone whose knowledge is subjective. Please repeat after me. Kurute Ganga Sagara Gamanam Vrata Paripalanam Athava Danam Jnana Vihina Sarvamatena Bhajati na muktim janmashatena Bhaja Govindam Govindam Bhaja Mudamate. What transforms karma into karma yoga? What transforms karma into karma yoga? It is intention. The why is what transforms an action into purification. Karma is an action, that which is done. But karma yoga is that which unites us with our potential. In other words, it's a form of purification. Intention is more important than implementation. And this is not just in the sacred realm. In the legal field, there's a term called mens rea. Correct? We have an attorney here. Correct? I'm pronouncing it right. Yes. Mens rea is the intention behind typically a crime. If it's premeditated, the punishment is much more intense than if it's accidental. Correct? Intention determines the punishment that comes with that. So here, Acharya Shankara brings out Kurute, those people who go to Ganga Sagara Gamana. They go to that place where the Ganga reaches the Sagara. The Ganga is this river that starts in the northern part of Bharat, India, and then it crosses through the upper and central part of India, and then it finally ends in the Bay of Bengal. Okay, they call it Sagara. Sagara means ocean, but it goes into this bay. Okay. What is being shared here is people who go on yatras. Now, how many of you have been on a yatra by a show of hands? A whole lot of you have been on yatras. We've been on yatras together. Now, what does yatra mean? Vacation, right? Yatra means where you go somewhere and you're uncomfortable, correct? What does yatra mean? The etymology of this is ya. Ya means to go. When you go on a yatra, you go. The body moves to Trinidad or to Bharat or Canada or America. The body goes. But we are not on a yatra just to go. Ya means to go externally. Ya means to move, which is internally. When you're on a yatra, are you being moved by your experience? Being moved means, are you changing during your experience? And it's most important to know this because if you only take yatra externally as going, then you have to leave your home, correct? You have to leave your city, your province, your country, etc. Yatras only happen in India, right? There's no such thing as yatras anywhere else. Ya means to move. You driving to work can move you. You speaking to someone who's suffering can move you. You seeing someone working very hard can move you. So ya, that is to move, this yatra, Acharya Shankara is trying to bring to our attention is it's not outside, it's inside. And he continues in the next line, Vrata paripalana. What does vrata mean? Vows. Vrata means discipline. Paripalana means to be intense, to follow through with your vratas, with your vows. What kind of vratas do people do? Shivratri vrata, Satyanarayan vrata, lots of words we don't understand, and then we put the word vrata there. Vrata we typically understand as abstaining from some sort of input. I vow not to watch TV. I vow not to eat this. I vow not to see this person, and on and on and on. And then he continues with that line, and people who give, dhanam. They're charitable, they're generous, they donate a lot. He's bringing to our attention here, why are you practicing these disciplines? Why are you giving? For many of us, we do these vratas as a karma. So many of us fast on Mondays, right? Why Mondays? Because that's Bhagwan Shiva's day. Not Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday or Friday or Saturday or Sunday. Bhagwan Shiva's day is only on Monday. Okay? And I fast. I fast from eating. Other than French fries and coffee and citrus fruits and on and on and on. But we tell everyone, correct? It's just a show for us. And what about dhanam? I only give if my name is put on a plaque. If I don't receive a plaque, then why should I give? It's a show. And this is so beautifully shown. Many of you are studying in the Bhagavad Gita course. When Prince Arjuna is talking to Lord Krishna about why we shouldn't engage in this responsibility, he gives so many thoughtful reasons. We have to make sure our species continues, what will happen to our lineage, and on and on and on. But all he's doing is justifying his lack of vision. When we engage in disciplines and donations for a show, what happens is a sattvic ego develops. It's this ego that's more subtle than an aggressive ego or a lazy ego. Because the sattvic ego we will always justify. I'm not doing this for me, I'm doing it for you. I'm doing it for the people. For the people, by the people, when really it's just about me, isn't it? What is being shared in this first line, or the first 2 quarters of this shloka, is jnana vihina. Jnana means knowledge, insight, vision. Vihina means without. If you're going on yatras, if you're engaged in vratas, if you're giving dana without knowledge, you are doing nothing but karma. And we saw this word vihina in a prior shloka where one's mouth was described. One has a mouth without teeth. All of you should really join our Vedanta and Ramayana course that happens on Sunday mornings. It is awesome. So I'm in a portion where I'm comparing Dashanana and Dasharatha. Whose name is Dashanana? Ravana. We had studied that last week. Dasha means 10, Anana means mouths. Ravana has 10 mouths, and all he's doing with that is indulging. He keeps on eating, indulgence, and he keeps roaring, speaking, right? Some of us are like that. We have one mouth, but it sounds like 10. We eat for 10 people. Dashanana. And if you think of this word Ravana, which means to roar, it's very much the opposite of a similar sounding word, which is Shravana. To listen, isn't it? That's where Dasharatha comes in. Dasha again means 10. Ratha means directions or chariots. Lord Rama's father used the same organs of input and output, but instead of indulging, he was directing all of them towards Bhagwan Rama. He wanted to see him more. He wanted to hear him more. He wanted to hold him more. He wanted to serve him more. And that's why when Bhagwan Rama left Ayodhya, the only one that gave up his life was Dasharatha. None of the mothers gave up their lives. It was Dasharatha. He didn't have purpose anymore. When we don't have purpose, when we don't have the highest purpose, we're alive, but we're not living. So I wanted to point out here, jnana vihina, this word vihina. If we are without knowledge, we are Ravana. If we are with knowledge, we are Dasharatha. Bhajati, last quarter, bhajati na muktim janma shatena. Now a review. We started this course in September, October, November, December, January. Now 5 months have finished. We only have 3 more months left in our course. It's gone quickly. Anyone who's near their laptops or computers, what is the lowest or introductory form of bhaja? Bhaja means to sing. Okay? I hope my chat room's open. It is. Then that singing should evolve to seeking. You're all grateful that your mics are muted right now, aren't you? Your seeking should evolve to serving. Your serving should evolve to worshiping. Your worshiping should evolve to loving. And loving finally merges into being. And that's what this word bhajati comes in. Bhajati na muktim. You cannot be free. Janma shatena, in 100 births. You cannot be free. You cannot be independent if you are jnana vihina. If you do not have vision. If you do not have the right intention in your every moment, every facet of what you do. You know, there's a word missing here, which Guruji had added for us. Janma shatena. Shata means 100. Janma means births. He said the word koti is missing. Koti means crore or 10 million. So it's really 100 times 10 million that births, that even in a billion lives. So 100 times 10 million is a billion. Without knowledge, even in a billion lifetimes, one is not freed. So we're all thinking 100 lifetimes, no problem. You know, we can go through that. But don't forget the word koti is there. A billion lifetimes. And that's not an exaggeration. Our ignorance is so deep. This morning at Bhiksha, I was in Pittsburgh, and someone had shared, you keep telling us that our nature is joy. How come we don't experience it? And I was sharing with her that you, I, us, we feel like that which is infinite can actually be covered. It's like you have this infinite space and then you have a tarp that covers that infinity. That's not infinity then, right? Ignorance cannot change infinity, it can only cover infinity. So when I teach you that your nature is joy, it is joy, but it's being covered by ignorance. It's not changed by ignorance, it's covered by ignorance. And it's been covered for so long and so deeply that that's what we believe our nature is. So this is not an exaggeration that it will take a billion lifetimes to remove this cover. How do you know if you're removing this cover? How do you know if you're releasing yourself from the clutches of ignorance? At a bodily level, it means nothing. Your physical health really means nothing when it comes to ignorance. If you're healthy or unhealthy, it's not directly related to ignorance. Because it's not outside, but we come inside, okay? The mind, you know, the BMI. So I focus on the mind. How do you know if you're becoming more knowledgeable, more visionary? Your mind is more balanced. Your mind is more focused. Your mind is more reflective. Those are tactile ways to know if you are bringing jnana into your facets, into your moments. When someone insults you, you are not shaken. When you have your responsibilities, you are not distracted. Every experience you go through, you try to learn from that. That shows you're bringing knowledge into your life. Everyone's with me? Okay. Deeper than that, I go to the intellect. When you become more dedicated, that shows your intellect is being pushed with knowledge. And you can only be dedicated, real dedication comes when your altar evolves. Yesterday I did a satsang on Vedanta in the workplace. Why do most people go to work? Why do you all go to work? For a check, isn't it? Would you go to work if you didn't get a check? I should make that your raw. When that direct deposit goes into your account, you meet your supervisor and say no. You keep that direct deposit. We go there for a check. But when your altar is yourself, the best in you doesn't come out, correct? It's like cooking. When you cook for yourself, how much of garnish do you put on that? How much effort do you put when it comes to presentation or the correct temperature? What dishes do you use? But if you have guests, and more so if you have guests that you want to impress, then, you know, there's more masala than dal in such cases. And so what I shared yesterday was, change your vision from going to work for a check to going to work for contribution. Contribute to yourself by becoming a better person, contribute to your family, to your community, to society. All of us can contribute, right? But it only happens with vision. So the more dedicated you become, the more noble your altar is, you know your intellect is becoming more pure. And now I'm going to give you a very tough indicator of whether we are becoming more knowledgeable at an intellectual level. You become more accepting. You become more accepting of what happens to you in your day-to-day affairs. You become more accepting of people. Imagine you can accept all of the people you interact with. Imagine everyone consistently doesn't reach your expectations, but you are unfazed by that. You don't even need to forgive them because you accept them. That's how you know if you're growing in vision. Okay? Balanced, focused, reflective, dedicated, and accepting. To complete this thought, what you and I do is only dharma if it leads to Brahman. It is only a responsibility if it leads to independence. So if what you're doing is not leading you to independence, do not call it dharma. You're going on vacation, you are not going on a yatra. You are giving for recognition, you are not giving unconditionally. If what you're doing is not making you independent, it is not dharma. And I see a lot of that happen when it comes to relationships. People are in casual relationships with their spouses, with their friends and all of that. Nobody is challenging each other. Nobody is trying to grow through those relationships. In this shloka, a lot of what is shared is called Bahi Karana Sadhana. Bahiranga Sadhana. These are practices that are preparation oriented. So dana, tapa, puja, japa, all of this is preparation to bring you to antakarana sadhana or antaranga sadhana. And there's only 3 internal sadhanas. What are those 3 internal sadhanas? Shravana, manana, nididhyasana. Shravana means to listen, manana means to reflect, and nididhyasana is a very misinterpreted word. What does nididhyasana mean? It means practice. Nitaram dhyaihi. Nitaram is such a powerful word. Nitaram means constant, ever, always. Dhyaihi means remembering. See, if you remember, you can practice. And if you don't remember, you can't practice. If you don't remember that class starts at 7:30, what time do you come? And what are the ramifications of you coming late to class? Today I just feel like studying attendance. So there may be ramifications for those who do not remember, so the practice is not there. I have to fly to San Jose next month. Which airline is it most important to remember that you have to check in for? Southwest, correct? If you forget that 24-hour period, suppose you wait 2 or 3 hours. What seat are you in? C19, correct? You're sitting in the back, in the middle, your suitcase is somewhere else. So you forgot, so you didn't practice. But if you remember, you practice, you sit in like A47. You have a window seat, you're smiling at all the people who are, all those C boarders, correct? You have to remember to practice. Without this development of independence, we are lost. In the last 3 shlokas, shloka 15, 16, and now 17, we are studying people who have no direction. They are lost. And as soon as you bring in direction, you are found. And what do you find? You find that which was always there. Being lost is being extrovert. Being found is being introvert or inward looking. Where there's direction, there is beauty. I was just at someone's home where this young man, the way he combs his hair is he gets out of the shower and he takes a towel and he dries his hair and then he leaves. His comb, he sees an environmentalist. He's trying to save money. He only uses a towel instead of a comb. And I questioned him on this. I said, doesn't it bother you when your hair is on your forehead? Nope. Doesn't it bother you when your hair is in front of your eyes? Nope. Even before I asked him the question, there already nope was there. And I said, can you even see with your hair in your eyes? That also was a nope. So his mother, who was very attuned to what I was saying, she quickly got a comb and just, one brush here, one brush here, one brush here. That boy looked so much better with just three strokes of that comb. Direction was given to his hair. He was more handsome, more presentable. And the best thing is he could see. See how practical direction is. If what you're doing is not making you independent, it is called adharma. And if what you're doing is making you independent, it is called dharma. Your profession, your relationship, your service, and you just pick any activity, any karma. If it's making you independent, it is dharma. And if it's not, it remains as a karma. I am not teaching you the karma kanda. I'm aspiring to teach you the jnana kanda.